would like, I'm very happy to change the name. Maybe we could call it League of Fluffy Bunnies or League of Funny Balloons.
Yeah.
You know what?
There you go.
But fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm actually keeping it as League of Fat Bastards.
Yes.
So, me and Ice-T, we got a lot in common, huh?
When Ferdinand brought this cigar to me and brought me the name of it, from the name I said, you know what? This is a group I belong to.
There you go.
I belong to. Right. Never mind how it smokes. I belong to this group.
It's a self-identification. It's a self-belonging thing.
Yes.
Man. That's what it's about.
Wonderful.
So there you go.
That's great. Ferdinand, you want to add anything to that? I want to just pull up just very quickly pull up.
I'm good. I'm good with anything Adam said.
Yeah.
That's got to be a first. Normally, I've said something wrong, and you'll quite quickly correct me.
So you didn't say anything wrong.
No, it's good. I'm glad.
That's a first too.
That's a first too. I was going to say that is a first.
So how did the cigar? You might have answered this a little bit, but how did cigar become a gateway to discuss the men's men's
Mental health.
mental health? How did the cigar become a gateway for building the community amongst these men?
Okay, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to let Ferdinand explain that because he's probably best. Because I had my idea, but he's a guy who's experienced it, right?
Well, when guys meet in cigar lounges, they sit, they talk, they chat, they share.
Yep.
Then they see the cigar and they see the men's mental health. And there's one that says, you know what, I support this because you know what, I have PTSD or I have this or I have, you know what, I feel pressure. And it's something that I noticed at all the events that I've done so far with LOFB, it's like dominoes. If one starts to open up, it's dominoes and everybody starts to open up and you see that everybody has something that is bothering them, that is affecting them mentally. And it could be as severe as what Adam went through, but it could also be, I'm under a lot of pressure just, to make ends meet. Or it could be something minor, but guys, we don't share. And then we start sharing and then you start talking and then, you create that, hey, we can support each other, we can help each other, or at least get it off your chest.
Yes.
That already helps. So that's why this I think for if you want a product for men to open up about men's mental health, there is no better product than a cigar. Because you know what? Where do men come together? It's either at bars and clubs where they're hitting on women, so they won't want to talk to each other. It's at sport games where they're cheering on their team, or it's cigar bars where they sit down and have a conversation.
I couldn't agree with you guys more with that because here's the thing. I, like every other guy, struggle with mental health, PTSD. I avoided it for forever. And it's not because the military didn't have programs. They all have programs that are fantastic. The program has to be right for you. You have to be in the right frame of mind at the particular time. And for me, we have a good friend. I have a good friend named Professor Mauricio Rossini, Professor Mari.
We know
Yeah. He is a champion of men's mental health. In fact, he and I started our entrepreneurship journeys together. And when he told me he's thinking about doing this thing, I said, Jesus Christ, man, that is a tough. I said, are you sure you want to do that? That's a tough market to get me as a stranger to open up to you for this, because we just don't do that. And so with the thing that he runs the men's circle, which is phenomenal, but it's still not something I can bring myself to. Not that, listen, I can be vulnerable in front of people, I can cry in front of folks, I got no problem with that, but there's still there is a block for whatever reason. There's a block there. So for me as a cigar smoker, there is zero block in this. And you're right. I can sit down with a cigar with the guys and let's get to what this rapper says is 40%, knowing that I can enjoy this piece right here, knowing that I am doing something positive for men going through the same thing without having to open up and share on my own timeline.
Sure.
Because we know what cigars do in these conversations, in these settings.
Sure.
It's the best thing in a social circle for guys outside of golf, because golf can be very stressful in and of itself. So tell me about the League of Fat Bastard Cigar and this amazing 40% that's listed at the bottom of all of the cigar bands on your cigars.
So, I think I'll answer this in two parts. The first one was, as I was going through the concept of launching the business, and it is a business, and unashamedly we are for profit, because unless we're making profit, we can't get money back. So we are absolutely for profit and genuinely want to make as much profit as we possibly can so we can give back the 40%. The whole rationale behind it was that I thought that we can create the opportunity for men to open up and engage, but what we can't do is, we're not professionals, I'm not a professional, to be able to help solve their issues. That is obviously medical professionals and psychological professionals. So what I decided was that it needed to be a meaningful amount of money of profit that we generated that we would actually give back to organisations that were providing on the ground, one-to-one, direct human counselling and engagement services, with a particular focus, on, we decided to particularly focus on what we call men of service, the virtuous. So people who are war vets, people who are military, people who are EMTs, people that are fireys, people that are educators, people that have actually been of service to the community. I mean, obviously everybody is entitled and should be supported, but these were individuals who gave of themselves to others, and and I felt that was where we wanted to go. So the 40% number from a business perspective, and I'm very open to talk about the business, we're very transparent, really is the economics around the business, because we know what we know and we know what we are, right? So we're a business that doesn't own production. We're a business that doesn't own the supply chain. We don't own distribution. We don't own anything. What we own is the brand, and we own the mission, and we look to own the hearts and minds of our consumers. So what that means is we can run the business on a very capital light basis, right? So we're not investing in machinery and that sort of stuff.
Yep.
It means that if you think about a pie and you've got 100% of the profits, it comes $100, call it. Out of that, 40% of that goes to organisations, and I'll talk about them in a second, goes to organisations that provide those services. 30% of the money of the profit stays in the business, because we don't have to reinvest in downstream capital, and we haven't got depreciation and capex and all that sort of stuff. And the other 30% gets paid out essentially as a dividend to investors in the business. And so we have external investors in the business, because it's not cheap to get these businesses up and running. But the interesting, Snow, and particularly for someone like you, who is an ex-military individual, is the organisation in the US that we support, and this is important. The way we divvy up the 40%, to be honest, is it's the 40% of the profits from the relevant country. So here in, I was going to say in Singapore, Malaysia, we haven't chosen anyone yet. In Singapore, we've got an organisation that we support. In Hong Kong, different organisation we support. But in the US, which is our biggest market, the organisation that we support is a company called Boulder Crest.
Boulder Crest.
So Boulder Crest is an NGO based out of the US, set up by some look, I want to call them Navy SEALs, but I think they call themselves Special Ordnance guys, I'm not quite sure. It is 100% funded through grants and donations and give-backs from external organisations. They have 45 points of presence around the US.
Okay. But
what they specialise in is they have particular programs that are designed if you come out of military. They have particular programs that are designed if you're a first responder. They have particular programs that are designed if you're an EMT, whatever it's going to be, right?
Oh, wow. That's
different programs
that's great.
over 90 days. So there's a 10-day fully immersive program where you will go to one of their camps and retreats that they have. There are 3 locations at the moment. Then it's a further 80 days of follow-up and work that's being done.
Wow.
And they run a program which is called Struggle Well. And each year they help 7,000